Welcome to the live. Your educational preparation does not cure negative self-belief. I can tell you, as someone that was the first actually in my family to earn a high school degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a doctorate degree. And now that I did it to cure negative self-belief, but I have to tell you that even with the degrees, there's work to be done. So continue watching if this speaks to you, okay? Okay, so let me tell you, it doesn't really matter how many degrees you have. Your educational preparation does not cure negative self-belief. Negative self-belief, no matter the accolades or the achievements you have, the degrees, the certifications, negative self-belief is such an internal job that it's work. It's not like I'm gonna go to school, earn a degree, and all of a sudden, all I think about is positivity about myself. I hold myself to high standards, all that stuff. Nope. Let me tell y'all. I got into the worst relationships hello, Coach Keisha. I've got into the worst relationships with all the degrees. I've got into unhealthy friendship relationships with all the degrees, okay? And why? Because I wasn't prioritizing myself. I was not giving myself the value and the worth that I truly have. I didn't believe in myself as much. I didn't see myself as an asset, and which is probably also why, I should add, spent 11 years at a job. Right? Think about it. 11 years at a job doing one. Although I did a lot, what did not happen is that I wasn't recognized for it. And I stayed hoping that eventually one day I'll be recognized for the work. So I say to you, it doesn't matter the degrees, it doesn't matter the job titles. If you're not set, if you don't work on yourself to change how you feel about yourself and what you believe yourself to be, and whether you believe you're a value and asset, or you believe you're worthy of being loved, of receiving the things, of achieving the things, of just everything, like real true love, whether that's a romantic relationship or a friendship. So that begins with, first of all, we have to pay attention to our thoughts, right? We have to pay attention to our thoughts. Are they yes, gotta work on self every day. Are they self-deprecating thoughts? Do you joke about yourself a lot? You know how some people like joke around about themselves, but really, like, you shouldn't, because if you don't really believe it, don't joke about it. Okay, so that self-deprecating, like joking or language, conversations that you have about yourself with yourself or about yourself with other people, please stop. Work on those internal thoughts on a daily basis. Like, you have to pay attention to those, bring them to the surface in order for you to be able to work on them. All right, you have to practice affirmations, right? So how do you, once you have paid attention to your thoughts, how do you then kind of like mitigate or tackle them, work on getting rid of them? You have to then add positive thoughts, right? So practicing affirmations, even if they don't feel real at the moment, practice them anyways, and eventually your brain will begin to connect with the words and you'll begin to really believe what you're saying. Because you have been programmed. If you watched a lot my live about 4 days ago, in which I talked about how we've been programmed to be insecure, part of that is the way in which our brains have been rewired, the information that we've received, how people have treated us, what systems have done to us. So what you need to do now is, in order to rewire your thinking, is practice positive affirmations that will help you to counter the negative thoughts, okay? You have to practice daily self-care. So you have to, care for yourself. Yeah, I got me a whole facial today, and can't nobody tell me a thing. Okay? I'm like on cloud 9. I'm like yelling as I'm walking up the stairs, like, I'm so happy. Oh, because I got a facial. Okay? So self-care is important for you to do consistently, not just on self-care Sundays or self-care Saturdays. Like, care for yourself every day, and not only the physical things that you give your body, but self-care your mind, your brain, your thoughts. Like, self-care what you think about yourself. Like, care by yourself by doing the things that are positivity. Hello, thank you, ain't I? these ring lights are working. So, but thank you. Oh, thank you, both of y'all. Okay. So yeah, practice daily self-care. In any way, shape, or form that you can. Again, it doesn't have to go in the physical ways, and don't wait for Saturday or Sunday. Like all day, every day, make sure you are caring for yourself. You are treating yourself to something, but also part of that, and as a whole, is for you to care for your thoughts, so that you're not like in this. I keep saying this week, like this hamster wheel, and every I'm pretty sure every live I've made in the past 7 days, I've talked about the hamster wheel. Yeah, just get off of the hamster wheel, and it can spin on its own. It can try to get the negative thoughts into your brain again, but you just like step off of it and just watch it go round and round while you're working on yourself. So make sure you're caring for yourself. Make sure you're practicing self-compassion. Okay, so listen. As a single mom owning this business, I decided to keep my kids home for the summer. Can somebody say how you thought that was gonna be fun? Yeah. So it's only been like about 2 or 3 weeks, and it feels like day 100. But guess what? I have to be compassionate with myself. I have to be compassionate with the kids. I have to practice some self-compassion with self during this time where I'm still working. My kids are home, so now I have to schedule things around my business, but I also have to schedule things around my kids because we only have so many hours in the day. So for example, I can't believe it's already 3:06. We haven't left the house. I left the house, but they stayed here with the sitter. So I need to get them outside, right? So I need to sometimes plan around them. There's a lot of coordinating that I have to do. There's a lot of coordination and scheduling and working around schedules and stuff. So that self-compassion piece is important. And if you're not a mom, you also need to practice that self-compassion around anything. Maybe you're busy with work. Maybe you're behind on a deadline. Maybe you wanted to do something this week that you haven't gotten done yet. It's only Tuesday, y'all. I was reminded of that today because it's garbage day around my neighborhood, and I was like, it's only Tuesday? I'm over here again, this hamster wheel, thinking it's Friday. Like I need to hurry the F up and do all the things. But self-compassion is so important. So be compassionate with yourself. Know that you're doing it. You're doing it all, and you don't need to put so much pressure on you because you are already feeling the pressure of everything else. You're feeling the pressure of society. You're feeling the pressure of schedules. You're feeling the pressure of your own pressures that you're putting on yourself. You're feeling the pressures of the summer. Can we talk about the summer, especially in the Northeast, where our summers are this short, and it's still deciding on whether it's going to be here or not. So my pressure now is how do I get the most summer activities in for me and the kids while we have summer. So that's the thing. So make sure you're practicing self-compassion. I wasn't expecting to spend that much time on that, but practice self-compassion. All right, the other one and the last one before I talk to you about the workshop that is happening tomorrow, because it's only Tuesday, but tomorrow is Wednesday, y'all. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and tomorrow is the workshop. It's at 6:30 p.m. Link is in bio to register for that. The last piece that I wanted to talk to you about is clarifying to yourself. Don't worry about anyone else. Because listen, some of these pressures sometimes makes you want to have to like tell the people. There are some days where you want to tell the people. You want to read them off your whole resume, right? But listen, what you need to do is you need to clarify to yourself your value and your worth, because sometimes when we're showing it off or exhibiting, right, like exhibiting it to others, we're not necessarily really feeling it or really believing it in ourselves. And that's why my title came up, because we could have all the educational preparation that we've been told we should have, blah blah blah. That's a whole nother video. But if you're not clear, clarity is so key. It's so important. If you're not clear on your value and your worth currently, with all the certifications, all the degrees, all the books, all of the things, all of and you're still not clear on your value and your worth, your self-belief is not where it needs to be. Your confidence is not where it needs to be. You need to be clear. So practice the clarification of self-worth and self-value to yourself in order for your self-belief to get stronger, in order, right? Fire, okay. Fire signs, I don't know. You said fire signs, what I can think about is myself. Isn't that like ego? I need to focus, okay? So yeah, be clear on your self-value and your worth. If you are not, it's again, as I said before, I keep thinking of this wheel, right? Like, step off of it and look at, sometimes even look at the reflection of you, or look at your thoughts of yourself, and then I'm working on the ego part. There's this very thin line between confidence and being egotistic. So I'm working on it because it took me a long time to get to confidence, and I think now I kind of like sometimes have to simmer it down a little bit. But yeah, so I want to speak to the folks who believe that your educational preparation will cure your negative self-belief, because it's not, it won't. There's so much work to be done. You're not going to be taught in class, in college, anywhere where you're attaining anything that's educational. You're not being taught about self-worth. You're not being taught about self-care. You're not being taught about self-love. You're not being taught about self-worth. You are not. They're just like, do all the things, pay all the tuition, and bye. But they're not teaching you how to do the internal work. And that's why, well, one of the reasons why I believe coach so strongly in the practice of coaching, because it's doing things, it did things for my life and for me that no degree ever did, right? That no degree ever did. May I say that again? Coaching for me did a lot more than any degree ever did. And that is so, like, when I think about it, I'm like, wow. And in my mind, again, I was programmed to do the educational route, do all the things, do everything, get the achievements on paper. But then while you're doing all that, what are you thinking about self? What are you believing about yourself? And that's so important. This workshop that I have coming up next Wednesday, like tomorrow, Wednesday at 6:30, we're going to tackle all that. We're going to be talking about self-doubt, so that we are working on the self-doubt piece, the self-belief piece. We're going to also be talking about how do we affirm ourselves, and we are going to be practicing how do we stand firm on our confidence once we're building it, right? Because as you're building your confidence, it's just like anything else you're learning. As you're learning it, you're going to be challenged, and you might go back to your old ways. It's like if you were working on an addiction, and you're working on and progressing, and then like there's this shiny picture of something, in my case is shopping, and now you want it, so but you kind of have to focus on the work that you're doing, right? The work that you're doing currently, because there's always going to be a pull, a tug, whether it's society, family, friends, like there's always, or your old self. Can we just get that a little louder? Or your old self is going to come up and be like, hey, you forgot about me. Isn't it much funner to be like self-deprecating, to like not love yourself, to not care for yourself, to not do all the things, to keep getting the degrees and not really believing in your worth? That's what your old self is going to say to you. So part of this workshop on tomorrow, what I keep thinking is next week, tomorrow at 6:30, we're going to work through all of that. So there's a huge surprise too in the link in bio, because I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there's a surprise there. I hope this was worth it. If it was, please leave, if you're watching the replay, leave a comment telling me how this was useful for you, to you. And I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's live. I'm hoping tomorrow's live is at 1. And I need to see my schedule. And Keisha, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, lady. Keisha, I love this size. This is the size. Look at my little journal here. Oh, my checkbook. Who uses checkbooks? I don't know. That's why they're still there. And I have my planner, but I think I took it out. Anyways, I love it. I love it. I love it. If y'all want one of these, you gotta hit up my friend Keisha, because she got a link. She got herself a link, okay? And I thought it was gonna get dirty because it's like it's almost like an ivory, an off-white ivory, but it hasn't. But I also try not to touch it a lot. Anyways, so I'll see you tomorrow for my daily live, and then I'll see you tomorrow in the workshop once you sign up. Isn't it? It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I'll send you a picture of what it looks like with my planner in it. I took my planner out because I was planning. Yes, it's so perfect. Look at that. And it also fits my my planner, and it fits my planner, like the planner that I made. Isn't it cute? And look at my little post-it that says 30. That's my magic number this year. 30. All right, y'all. Let me get off of here so I can go do the things. Take care. Have a great day. If you guys have any questions about the workshop, please DM me, and I'll talk with y'all later. Have a great day.